What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So, let me get into what I was making this video for. So, I was basically looking to see what was going on with Charlo. Maybe see if I could catch some training footage or something, Canelo. And basically, before I even typed in the search for anything, I was just going through some things on my phone. So on Google Chrome, okay, Google Chrome, there was a picture of Deontay Wilder laying down. Right now, it looked like his eyes are closed, whatever, or like he's halfway looking, like eyes halfway open or whatever. Now on there, it says something about Deontay Wilder. Well, what you saw in the thumbnail. You know, basically, the person that even posted it, it's not like they were saying that he was knocked out. It's like they were basically, I didn't see an interview. Okay, there was no article. If you look at that picture, well, what it was, it looked like a play button. You push the play button, there's no play button. So basically, I'm looking, okay, I couldn't find anything. Okay, anything. So I get the impression that there was people assuming that Deontay Wilder got knocked out because of that picture, and maybe he used it as clickbait to get people to watch, or maybe he put it up there and he put the words up there for people to click on to see whatever he had to say, you know, hear whatever he had to say and watch his video. So I go on YouTube. Now, there were two thumbnails of Jermall Charlo. Now, mind you, I haven't even typed his name in yet. It just happened to pop up. But I can't find these thumbnails. Now, you guys might have even saw it. One thumbnail said something like Jermall Charlo looking bad. The other one said like he looks bad in sparring, and you see a picture of it's like a back view of Jermall Charlo with some colorful like looking shorts on or whatever. And if you click on that, it's not even a video of Jermall Charlo sparring. It's a guy talking and giving his opinion on things. Okay? Bringing up Jermall Charlo's personal life and all of this stuff. There's another video where Jermall Charlo's eyes look halfway open. He kind of looked like he's in that high state. Now, to me, that was nothing more than Jermall Charlo more than likely being interviewed. And you know, we all get caught with the weird faces. You know, like somebody's recording you, or they pause. How many times have you paused the video or something right while a person was making a weird ass face or something, right? I can't even find that thumbnail or that video again, period. In that video, the thumbnail says something like Jermall Charlo is not doing so good or something to that effect. Then I see a video of Canelo. Now, this particular video, you see Canelo's face, then it says he's too small. Now, there's several people that made videos claiming that Canelo said Terence Crawford is too small. That's what he was talking about. Well, if you watch Aki TV, he has a video, and basically you hear the audio, but as you hear the audio, you know, he has pictures flashing, different pictures flashing on this video as you're listening to the audio, and different things are being said. And basically, Canelo was supposedly saying he's too small, saying that even at 147, he's a much smaller guy than these guys, and saying that he would only fight Terence Crawford at 168, which I will address that notion, but this is my thing. Listening to the video, I can't tell you how old the video is. I can't tell you if it's something pieced together that someone else did that Aki TV was just playing. I don't know. So the point of me making this video was to address a couple of things, and mainly, just, to point out, I'm seeing and hearing a whole lot of people repeating things that they hear other channels say. But I can't find anything coming from the actual source or reliable source. So I was able to pretty much screenshot the Canelo picture, which you can see. You see like time up there, you know, like the video length or whatever. So that show you know, this is where I got it from. And I also got the photo of Deontay Wilder laying down. Now let me address this before I go on. You have two jackasses, because I posted on the community section. Two wannabe fake fighting jackasses jump up. Oh, you should know better. You're supposed to be a boxing channel and you don't even know the truth and blah, blah, blah. Another guy makes a comment about, oh, us fighters know that anybody wears 16-ounce gloves to spar and to prevent cuts. And I'm like, you know, these people are just as dumb as a fucking box of rocks, man. First off, it's like, you fake fighting ass motherfucker. Who you ever fought? Who you talking about, Fight Night Champions? Undisputed? Mike Tyson's Punch Out, Super Punch Out, Ring King. You couldn't fight your way out of a paper fucking bag, you dumb, ignorant bastard. And for the other one, same thing. To show you how ignorant they are, okay? And you know I gotta set people straight and put them in their goddamn place. First off, I put in the description of that shot, I don't know if this is true or not. You know, and I don't like to make videos based off rumors. If it is true, okay, that Deontay Wilder got knocked out, won't be the first time, and it's not the last time. Okay, shit happens. But until I get further information, right, I'll look into it. I'm being honest about the fact I don't know if this is a shot that he got knocked out on or this is something else. That's the purpose of me putting it. Like, it's so fucking exclamatory. So for you to respond to that, it's like, you're so fucking dumb and y'all got the taste of Wilder's nuts in your mouth so bad to the point, as soon as you think somebody's saying something about him that you don't like, you just start responding. And you're so stupid, but you think you're so smart. First of all, part of the reason that I even posted that was because I knew I was going to make this video. With the whole point of, see, you got too many fanboys, you got these lying, casual perspectives, and then you have these people that don't understand. When you make a video and you say that a fighter said this and a fighter said that, how many times have you seen a video and it says something like Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia trade words, but there's a picture of them where it looks like maybe they're FaceTiming each other or something, just to click the video and all they're doing is arguing back and forth on Twitter or some shit like that, right? Okay. Because if they said Ryan and Tank have a Twitter war, they know less people are going to click onto it. So they clickbait. The problem with clickbaiting, okay, is if you're clickbaiting, it means the video is not authentic. What you thought, what the audience thought they were going to see is not what they got. Okay, and that's part of what I'm saying. But what's worse is when you guys make shit up. And one of the things that a lot of you have a problem understanding, that there's people that are just bold-faced liars. It's just in them. By the way, the gloves are off. Sweet science. Salute. I see you. And at the end of the day, this is the type of shit that boxing doesn't need. So we can talk about VADA testing. We can talk about the fighters shooting off at the mouth. We can, everything, the promoters, you know, not wanting to respond to certain fighters because it's high risk, low reward. The fighters not wanting certain fights, you know, for whatever reason. Everything is just a money grab to the point where they don't really care. It's a business. And you got fighters who don't fight 2-3 years. Let these prime years of their life go by while they're sitting back, you know, wasting time. Okay. For the ignorant dummies who don't understand, basically probably look at their front and the back of their hand and just realize they look different. Huh? Or probably say, how come the back of my hand don't look like the front? It's not how it's designed to be, dumbass. First off, let me reiterate. I don't even think the person that took the picture was saying that Wilder was knocked out. I believe that people was probably making these videos. So this is why when I check into things, I look to see what's being said. So when I address it, I'm addressing something coming from that particular source. Why did I leave the description up there? So people can see where the shit came from. So how stupid can you be? I was never even saying that he got knocked out. I said, if this is true. Now, for the dummy that talked about, oh, but people know we use 16, that fucking dumbass. I've sparred many times without head guard. A lot of us did. Is it safe? No. Was it smart? No. Did we do it? Yeah. And in fact, it's funny because the same guy you talk about, we're talking about Deontay Wilder. Well, did you ever see him when he was sparring that dude, Charlie Zelianov, or however you say his name? Notice Wilder had no head guard on? Do you know how many times I've seen somebody get knocked out or I've knocked someone out? And you know what they do when they land down? They take off the fucking head guard, you damn moron. So at the end of the day, for me to honestly say, I don't know if this is true or not, but, okay? Yeah, I mean, you guys are such idiots, man. Like you talk and you don't even comprehend what you're reading, okay? So my whole thing is, the same people that you support their channels, the same people that you run to for news, but because they're saying things pretty much, it's like if you hate Anthony Joshua and you have a channel speaking badly about Anthony Joshua, you love that channel. That's just the way it goes with people. Whoever you don't like, if that channel decides, well, you know what, it's more of a popular thing, I get a better response if I go against this person versus going with them. Now, let me address Canelo's situation before I bring up this next situation. I don't know, like I said, if this was an old video, because I have a life. My life don't consist of me sitting up behind a computer sniffing up boxers' asses all day. I have a life, okay? If even Canelo, if it's legit that he was addressing Terence Crawford when he's made the comment and said that he's, too small, the thumbnail, the first thing popped in your mind on the video that I saw, you think that he was saying no. And in fact, I didn't see a video. This is what my fault. I didn't see a video. I was watching the video and people just start talking and whatever. I said, this is the video I'm going to watch. Then I see all of this and I watch it. It's like, here's the thing. The video, I didn't see it at that point. I didn't see it. This is what is going on. If you look at that thumbnail, it seems as though Canelo is saying Crawford is too small. You see those words, but then you see Crawford's face highlighted. You see the thumbnail. When in fact it was like Canelo was saying that he was too small for Crawford. That even at 147, that Crawford is still a bigger guy than he is. Okay, I don't know where he's getting that from, but then you had people in the comment sections saying all types of shit that asked. I mean, it's like you guys listen to a video and still don't know what it's about. So at this point, like I said, I didn't know. But right, so when I watched Aki, I didn't know. I wasn't sure. Okay, so let me make this clear. I wasn't sure of any of it. So when I'm watching one thing to the next, I'm saying I don't know if this is old, if this is new. Like this is what's going through my head. I can tell you, I sat and watched 8 videos, and all 8 videos they were saying like similar but like completely different, just reaching for shit type stuff. And I'm like, wow. So here's the reality. What it turns out is that Canelo wasn't saying that he wasn't saying Crawford's too small. Looking at that thumbnail, that's what you think. But what I'm saying is, I didn't know where that shit was coming from. So when I watched the video, I said, okay, because I couldn't find that video that I initially got it from. Then I found it because I couldn't remember the name of the channel. So when I type in Canelo says Crawford is too small, a bunch of other shit came up. Well, this is what I'm going to say in that regard. Canelo cannot possibly say that Crawford is too small and make that make sense, and then say I'll only fight him at 168. Crawford came up from what was he at 140? Come up to 147. So if he went to go to 154, that's 2 weight classes. If he goes and fight him at 168, that's 3. Isn't that the same thing that Canelo did when he went from 154 to 175 and was actually willing to go to cruiserweight? So the point of bringing up size is like, what's that? What's the purpose of that, right? So this is like what I'm saying. I want to make sure that when I respond to something, that I'm responding to what was actually said. So the whole notion of Canelo saying Crawford's too small, it's like, okay, that makes no sense though, because that's the excuse that people made when you lost to Dimitri Bivol. Then I heard a channel where a guy was saying just that, was saying, oh, nah, man, you can't say he's too small simply because, you made excuses and your fans made excuses because that's what y'all said about Bivol. And then how Canelo talking about if he beats Crawford, he's not gonna get his just due because they're gonna say he was too small. So I got all these like, wait a minute. So all of these different people are saying different things, which means they didn't listen to hear anything come out of Canelo's mouth. They made their comments based on what other channels were saying, which is exactly what the fuck I don't do and why I even put up in the description. But dumbass people read something and oh, well, how could you say, like, wow, you're really that stupid? Like, you really don't know how the fuck to read, do you? Okay. So that would be bullshit. If you can fight him, in fact, this is what makes less sense. If Canelo feels that Crawford is too small, it's too big, right? Even at 147, that you're naturally smaller. He's saying he's naturally smaller than Crawford. I'm like, man, what are you talking about? You started your pro career at a heavier weight than Crawford did. But if that's the case, and that you're naturally too small, that like much smaller, then that means you can fight Crawford at 147. Huh? Tell me when I'm lying. If you're naturally smaller than Crawford, you can fight him at 147. Like, simple. Right? That means you could fight Jermell Charlo at 154. You understand what I mean? So are you saying 168 to give yourself an advantage because that's where you feel more comfortable? So, that made no sense. And I said, okay. But I'm telling you guys, these videos are all over the place with what people were saying. And it's like, wow. So this is what I'm seeing, and this is what these casuals do. And you always have these casuals jumping in your comment section, running their mouth, not knowing what they're talking about. But in that sense, it was like, okay, so what I wanted to do on the thumbnail, I was going to have Canelo, I was going to have Deontay, and I was going to have one of or the two photos of Jermell Charlo, because this was all some clickbait bullshit. And there's a guy, his channel is called Hatman Strikes Back. Okay. This guy is known for basically like saying, like he's been saying for the longest that Deontay Wilder has clearly ducked Anthony Joshua, and everybody knows it. And so now he has a video where I don't know where this is coming from. Now, his perspective is that, like I told you, I don't go on people's channels telling them what they should and shouldn't say, but I say what I want on mine. Okay. So what he is saying now is that Eddie Hearn has been saying for the longest that Deontay Wilder, everybody's on board, they're ready to go, and yeah, everything's set. And now that they're trying to duck him by saying they want another fight before Wilder, and clearly Anthony Joshua, they don't want the fight, they're ducking, and they're planning on making this duck, and he's like really ripping Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua apart with his words, right? Now, of course, you guys know it's not a personal thing. I really could care less. I'm trying to understand where he's getting this from. Like, why is like how he has this perspective is based on what? And I'm saying this because he's known to be a guy that has a respectable channel. But more than half of his comment section was even saying, like, hey, man, like, you're reaching on this one. And I feel like he's reaching because, first off, what if you heard from Deontay Wilder? What have you heard from from Shelly Fink or any of them about what they want to do and like what like where is this coming from? So at the same time, he's saying, I remember him saying the same thing that I said, which is Anthony Joshua doesn't have a belt. He's not holding up the division. So if he did decide to take some tune-up fights to, fine-tune himself to, him and Derek James can mesh better together and everything, it's like, okay, what would be the harm in that? Whereas now, and he's saying the same thing. AJ needs to take some tune-up fights. Don't get in there with Wilder right now. Then he turns around and completely changes his story. Now, in his defense, if he was to say, yeah, but the difference is Eddie Hearn said that the fight was signed, sealed, and delivered. No. Now, I don't know what video he saw. If Eddie Hearn said that, whatever. But I can tell you, Anthony Joshua was asked several times about Deontay Wilder. Is Deontay Wilder next? And he's saying, yeah, he wants Wilder next. I've never seen a video and heard Anthony Joshua say that the fight signed, sealed, and delivered. Basically, if that would be the case, there's no way in hell that he would have just took a fight with Helenius, Dillian White, whatever was supposed to be the original opponent. If that fight was signed, sealed, and delivered, like, no. This is more of a, okay, if you get past Dillian White, if you get past Robert Helenius, then that's good because, hey, now, it's on to Wilder. Should he lose to Dillian White or lose to Helenius, who's going to really care if Wilder and Joshua fights? You understand what I'm saying? So, and the fact that Anthony Joshua is saying Wilder is next, like, yeah, that's who I want next. I've never heard him say that the fight's already a done deal. Now, what I did hear was when they was trying to put the Saudi deal together. Multiple people, not just Eddie Hearn, said that, yeah, everybody was on board. The only person that wasn't on board was Tyson Fury. And that's when they was trying to make Fury versus Usyk and Wilder versus Joshua. Okay, that deal fell apart. Now, in terms of the two of them, if that would have been the case, that they wanted the show to go on without Usyk and without Fury, then they would have did that. And it would have been, that's going to be the headline. That's going to be the main event. So a lot of times you hear things and it's like, are these guys trying to suit a certain group of people? Are they trying to get their views and likes up by changing their tune now? And, I don't know what's going on with a lot of these channels, but this is what I'm seeing a whole lot of, man. People are just saying things just to get views and likes. And this is exactly why you read the description, and I said, and I mean it, I do not like making videos based off rumors. Did you see a video of me saying that Deontay Wilder got knocked out? So it's so ignorant that you read something. It would be just like me saying, I'm going to stay in the house today. I'm not even going outside. And then somebody respond and say, I can't believe you're going to leave me in the house like that. Like, did you not just hear what I said? Did you not just hear what I just said? What I put in that description was self-explanatory. Self-explanatory. So, this is what I mean about stupid, ignorant people, casuals, especially when they're both. That's really a nasty combination. Because what you're sitting here saying is, oh, us fighters do this. First of all, you're not a fighter. You're nothing but a big mouth keyboard bitch. That's what you are. And that's why you're sitting here running to the defense of a man like he's your woman. Simple. These people are just as toxic as these crooked powers that be in boxing and dirty fighters, because they don't care about telling the truth. So you're honest in what you say, and people are still having some stupid shit to say. You know, I'm going to say what I want. Ain't none of y'all going to do nothing about it anyway. And I say it every time and I mean it. So I don't know why y'all choose to jump in it. And like, you always have something to say that makes no sense. Like, you guys are so stupid that it's like, man, you can't have a woman in your life. You can't. You can't. And if you do, she's probably like a teenager or something. You're probably sitting there with a child, because you guys are not grown men. You're kids, man. You guys are so petty. I gain nothing out of making up lies. I don't take your money, do I? I don't ask for nothing. This is a hobby for me. But I'm not going to sit here and make a video about something. The most that you're going to ever see Aries do wrong, I might say the wrong name or something, like a simple mistake or something. But I'm man enough to go back and I'll say, hey, I made a fuck up. I meant to say such and such. Shit happens, bro. Shit happens. At the end of the day, these channels that, and I'm telling you guys, this is what I'm telling you. These guys do not have any real love for boxing. These people are all about the drama. They don't care nothing about boxing. Just the whole, just the pure form of it. Being a combat sport, they don't embrace that. It's all about, okay, what these niggas talking about. All right, fuck it. They don't like that nigga. All right, let's talk about him. Fuck him. This is what they do. It's like, if you look, for example, right? Look at now Savannah Marshall, and I don't want to say, I don't remember. I think somebody said Amanda Serrano. That's the name I think someone said. But that's not, fuck it. And fuck you if you got something to say about it. But they're saying that Savannah Marshall, this is what I'm hearing, in Serrano, is supposed to be going to the PFL. And this is what I say, okay? Because I gave a short answer about it, but let me say this. I can't tell anybody how to make their money. Boxing really doesn't need all this crossover shit. Now, Claressa Shields is a legit MMA and boxing, okay? But here's the thing. Most established boxers don't fight any more than 2 times a year, okay? Established fighters. The amount of abuse that you put your body through to train boxing and MMA, for you to dedicate yourself to that sport, to either one, it's difficult, because it's so much that you have to learn and you have to be sharp at. Injuries start happening, your body starts to break down. Whatever you choose to do, that's you. That's your choice. I can salute you on that, but it's difficult. Savannah Marshall just became undisputed champion. I don't know if this is something that she always wanted to do, or if it's because Claressa's doing it, but you got people who I guarantee you never watched the PFL a day in their life. Probably don't even know who they are. Probably never even heard of them until Claressa went there, and they all watched this, hoping that Claressa lost, right? And she won one and she lost one. They're already talking about Shields versus Marshall 3. And it's like, okay, whatever. They're not even in the same weight class. But even if that was to change, you just became undisputed. So now what are you going to do? How often are you going to fight and defend those titles? You know, this is about money grabbing. This is about making history. This is like a lot of different things that you can look at. But it's so funny, and I got to bring it up again, how Floyd Mayweather came back and grabbed $300 million, was no longer champion, 50-0. I'm out. I'm doing nothing but exhibitions from now on. The one thing Okay, to Clarissa's credit, she don't duck anybody. She's not doing Tyson Fury type bullshit. Okay, and Tyson Fury basically is not a crossover fighter. You know, Frank Warren is over here selling y'all this bullshit and y'all eating it up. He's talking about massive payday. Everything that you know the funny thing, if you watch Frank Warren, everything that he complains about with Eddie Hearn, he tries to emulate it himself. If you notice that about him, he's always shooting down whatever Eddie Hearn is doing, whatever fights they have on their card. Then, you know, not to be funny, man, but they fought in some little small ass building last weekend. That building was so goddamn small. I'm like, goddamn. I've seen high school gyms bigger than that building they win. And yet he's sitting there running his mouth. But it's like, you're sitting up here trying to sell us a fucking Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury fight. It's about how massive it is. It's a massive payday. He said Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou is bigger than Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. You sell out, trading, two-faced motherfucker. Let's look at it like this. Here you are, a boxing promoter. You're not an MMA guy. You're a boxing promoter. And here you are shitting on the unified champion. Not to mention, you're shitting all over Daniel Dubois because you're sitting here saying that fight with Ngannou versus Tyson Fury is a massive fight and bigger than Tyson Fury versus Usyk. Ngannou's not a boxer. You talking about because of the sheer excitement, an MMA guy versus a boxer. No, you make it sound like Ngannou's going to be in there doing MMA and Fury's going to be boxing, so it's going to be an MMA style fight versus a boxing style fight. That's not what we're getting. That's not what we're getting. Then, to say that, and who is your fighter going? Your fighter, Daniel Dubois, getting ready to fight. This same guy, Usyk. And you're telling everybody he's going to knock him out. Okay, man, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, worst case scenario for you, Frank Warren, if Usyk goes in there and picks him apart and win like everybody think he's going to win, how bad does that make Daniel Dubois look? And after that, it's like, okay, I chopped this tree down in your stable. Now I want the biggest tree in your stable. Yet he's out here chasing fucking fantasy fucking bullshit fights with non-boxers. But he is the WBC champion of the world, right? Excuse me, he's the WBC title holder. Okay, so let's look at this thing realistically, man. Everything Floyd, that one night what Floyd did, it's like now everybody wants to do or try to do what Floyd did. But again, Floyd was not an active fighter. Roy Jones was talking about fighting Anderson Silva before Mayweather and McGregor fought. Way before. The difference is this, and Roy Jones want to take credit saying he sparked that. I mean, I don't think you had nothing to do with Floyd's decision to fight McGregor. And the difference between that fight is this. McGregor was like the hottest thing in MMA. Okay? Him and Ronda Rousey at the time. You had already fallen off and had multiple losses. You were a shell of yourself. Anderson Silva was no longer the same fighter. And Anderson Silva basically was no longer amongst the elite. Nobody really cared to see Roy Jones versus Anderson Silva. Like, this wouldn't have been a massive mega fight. That's not how it would have been seen. It would have been seen as two legends over the hill trying to get in there to just entertain the fans. And you wasn't going to make close to what Floyd made against McGregor, and it wouldn't have been even seen that way. Reality is everybody complains about when someone else does something successfully. And then, you know, they get in there, and if they get the opportunity, the same opportunity, now all of a sudden it's not such a bad idea. So that was just a situation where, you know, Floyd Mayweather, he knows how to get attention, and he knows how to go in there and win. What Tyson Fury is doing is disgraceful. I don't know what's driving Savannah Marshall to want to do it, but like I said, I'm not tripping over it. But they just were talking about how strong women's boxing is. They were talking about, they, glad to be a part of it and how women's boxing is growing. And I don't know if they think that this is going to bring more eyes to the women's boxing. I don't know what the motivation is, but to be honest with you, if everybody put that same energy into making boxing stronger, making boxing bigger, like people talk about how boxing is so popular now. No, boxing is not nearly as popular as it used to be. No, it's not even close to. And this is how when people are talking, they don't really check up on the history of anything. They just go by what they see. And so they don't know. Like even like, Claressa Shields doing what she's doing, I salute her on that. And they're like, yeah, but if you credit her, fine. If you don't think it's a good idea, you want to shit on her like y'all try to do all the time, whatever, fine. It's on y'all. But Claressa wasn't the first. She wasn't the first female boxer to go into MMA. Holly Holmes did it before she did. She knocked out Ronda Rousey with a leg kick. The difference is Holly Holmes stayed with MMA because basically her boxing career, she was okay. She was okay, but she was better on her feet than Ronda Rousey ever was. And that was always Ronda's weak point. The thing is, there was nobody in the female division. They only had a handful of people back then anyway when Ronda was on top. But there was nobody that was there to really make her pay for her lack of, stand-up fighting skills. And Holly Holmes, she did what she had to do. But she did it before any of these women did. And she stayed with it. And she lost some and she won some. As a boxer, she never had the type of notoriety that Claressa Shields had. So, but she did it first. Now, Claressa Shields got more attention for it because even as Holly Holmes, with her in the cage, she wasn't getting it wasn't like people, oh, we know her, you understand what I mean? So it's not like she was some top star in female boxing that crossed over. No, she just left boxing and went to MMA. Well, I'm saying all of this, man, because, we've been talking a lot, and the biggest subject for the past couple of weeks has been Alycia Baumgardner and her failed test, which basically I have a video. If you didn't see it, check it. It'll make you guys really go, damn. It's a whole lot of simple shit that people don't look at. How easily you have scientists and doctors telling you that a person can fail a test simply by drinking fucking water. There's people that have failed tests that didn't take anything, and what did I label the video? That these fighters have all failed tests, some multiple times. But let's look at some interesting facts. That's what the video is labeled, and basically, you guys get to hear what scientists and doctors, people who do these tests, and understand what and how everything works. They could, it's too much for me to try to, break down and explain, because that's their field of study. But the things that I do know and understand, and I've always been about being fair. And this is why I like to hear both sides before I go in. It's just that once you give your side, you start talking nonsense, it's like, it's not looking good for you, right? So, yeah, you make your judgment based on both sides. And it's a hard thing for you to prove when you don't have any. What proof are you going to have, right? That's what you got to wait and see. All right? So, at the end of the day, all of this money grabbing, it's all about that bag. It's all about that bag. This is what boxing has become, man. And people don't understand that when you lose focus on what's really important, okay, to the sport and to you, it's your money, it's your health, and your life. I'm not knocking them for what they're doing. What I'm saying is when you start to lose focus on that, and everything becomes, and I'm not even talking about the girls at this point. Tyson Fury popped in my head when when you start to really lose focus on it's like, it's just about a money grab. Why don't you relinquish your title, and then you can go fight Francis Ngannou? You can go fight whoever, Brock Lesnar, whoever. Go do your WWE shit. And you hear me say this man still hasn't had a mandatory. And he's held that belt for like 2 fucking years and he still hasn't had a mandatory. Why aren't people barking about that? Because it's facts. Yet Usyk holds 3 belts and has to have a mandatory against Dubois simply because Chicken Shit Fury decides he wants to, just do what he wants to do and try to make it look like all these people are ducking him. And then he turns around and says he's not speaking about AJ or Usyk anymore. But then when he does speak, what does he do? Speak about Usyk and AJ. And of course blame them. They didn't want to fight this and this. I'll fight anybody, blah, blah, blah. Well, boxing is so watered down from its core down to its casual fans. And these channels are misleading people. These channels have you guys repeating things that's not true. Me being the type of person I am, I go into my community section and I put the photo up so you can see where it's coming from. And let you guys know I don't like to make videos based off of rumors. Yet, I come to find out too that, yeah, it's true. There are people making videos talking about Deontay Wilder. Well, here's a fact. Deontay Wilder got knocked out by Harold Stonia, but you can't find that video. And see, when you say something happened or you heard a particular thing being said or done, you got people, I've never seen that. I never heard that. Okay, well, let me post this up so you can see where it came from. But you guys are too stupid to even understand that. So, all right. Had to get rid of a skunk. I don't play that skunk invasion. But yeah, it just comes down to the simple fact, man, that people don't even care if they're getting the truth anymore. As long as what they hear, suits whatever little, narrative that they're trying to put out, it's okay with them. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to close this video. From these casual fans that just run their mouth, that don't know the difference between a real fighter, okay, and some guy that just novice guy that just starts out and is fighting nothing but nobodies in terms of who they are as a boxer. From all of these people who just say what they want to say, they start making lies up, they start changing their narratives based on popular demand or whatever. It only stops when you stop supporting them. And I'm not going to say I'm shocked that this guy Hatman strikes back, but because like I said, people do what they do. But I'm just trying to understand how Anthony Joshua is ducking Deontay Wilder when basically he's telling us that's the fight that he wants. And he's saying there's no more talks about it. You don't hear anything. Okay, talk about what? He just fought Robert Helenius. Okay? They have to talk to each other. You don't hear Wilder, and this is what I'm saying. You don't hear Wilder saying anything either. The only thing that Wilder does is make a comment here and there about how he'll knock someone out and how it'll be easy work. And, what about Wilder? Remember he was talking about how he wanted to fight Anthony Joshua in Africa and all that. Do you hear Wilder talking about this stuff anymore? No. This is Wilder fighting Robert Helenius, and he's talking about Joshua. More than he was talking about Helenius. He's talking about all this other stuff. I want to fight 3-4 times a year. They all been saying this, and I've been telling you guys, if they wasn't doing it in their youth, they're not going to do it now. But when you look at the two, it's like, okay, cool. But I'm telling you, I don't watch anybody's channel faithfully like that. But I have seen this guy before, seen a couple of his videos, seen a good amount of his videos here and there, And this is one time where his whole comment section, they were just like, yo, that man, you reaching. Come on, man. Where you getting this from? And this is what I'm saying. It's like, it almost, you ever when you see a movie and in the movie, a person will call somebody and lie to them, and the person on the phone that they're talking to don't realize that there's somebody standing with a gun to their head telling them what to say, it's like That's what it felt like. Like, where is this guy getting this from? How is all of a sudden a guy who just fought ducking someone who was silent and saying nothing, right? And then somebody even tied that in. This is what I'm saying about the video saying that Wilder got knocked out. And so this is what I'm saying. I don't see a video of Wilder getting knocked out. But there's people that's making videos saying things based off of what? And again, for the big mouth idiots that had a lot to say, talking about nobody spars without head guards, that's bullshit. And you can pull up videos right now with people sparring without head guards. But your boy Wilder, like I said, was in with that dude Charlie Zelenioff or whatever with no headgear. Okay? He had no headgear. Yeah. Did y'all know that back in the Olympics, like, you know, even way back to like the Sugar Ray Leonard times, do you realize that they didn't spar, they didn't fight with headgear on? Huh? They started that shit afterwards. Yeah, they used to fight without headgear. We know what headgears are for, but y'all, you know, y'all so smart, but y'all so fucking dumb. And this is like when I make videos, it's like it's always inevitable that some idiot is going to have something to say. And this wasn't even a video. This was a photo that I put up in the community section. But it's always some idiot that always read what you say, but do not know. I swear. Drive 20 feet, stop at the stop sign, make a right. I promise you a motherfucker will get there, don't stop at the stop sign, and keep going straight. That's y'all. Y'all don't follow directions. Y'all don't understand how to, y'all don't comprehend what y'all read. Y'all don't even comprehend what y'all hear. You speak and you say what you say. You take the time to make these videos, and some idiot got a yeah, but you don't understand. Always you don't understand something, right? Okay. Anything. Listen. You have people that think like this: is either my way or the wrong way. It's never any. Okay, well, that person's entitled. Do you know how many times people post something up and you guys? Let me give you an example of something. In the community section, I put up a video, a picture. No, it wasn't even a picture. It might have been a picture. I might have put a picture. But either way, there was a picture of David Reed and Shane Mosley. And I asked who wins this fight. I never know how people are going to respond, right? Now, when I saw how many people chose Shane Mosley, it was like it wasn't even close. I think it was like Shane had like 80-something%. And I mean, like, hardly anybody voted for David Reed. And it made me think, do a lot of these people even know who David Reed is? I'm wondering if they just don't really know who he is, maybe because they don't know about him too much, that they didn't, you know, maybe think he must not have been that good, or maybe they just think that Shane would have won. I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong because you think Shane would have won. I don't know who would have won, but I will say this. David Reed was a real good boxer. He had that bad eye, and the eye always looked swollen, so it wouldn't take much to swell that eye closed. Okay. But Shane Mosley has always had a problem with boxers. He never had a problem with punchers. It was just boxers he had a problem with. So, you know, I don't know what would happen. You know, I don't know what happened. So, I thought it was an interesting fight. That's why I posted it. How am I going to tell you you're wrong for who you think would have won? But you got people that were, oh, you fucking crazy. You bitch ass nigga. This nigga would have, oh, you a dick, right? It's like, you know, this is what boxing has become. A fucking cesspool for idiots that basically, like I said, they don't care nothing about boxing. They're all about the drama. They're all about the stupid shit. So, pretty much, y'all, I just try to get all this shit out because I don't like to talk about it again. In this situation, too many casuals. Boxing is too fucking corrupt. Boxing needs a change. Boxing needs a shake up. This shit isn't going to change overnight. And to be honest with you, I only see it changing for the worse because everything now is just money driven to where I'm hungry while I'm young. And it's the same cycle repeating. You get to a certain point and the same fighters who was hungry when they were younger, The same fighters who was calling everybody out are now avoiding the up and coming fighters. The same way that the crop that was before them, crop of fighters was, avoiding them. So now what you get is what? All you get is this would be a good fight. Oh, that'll be a good fight. And out of 10 good fights, you might get 4 or 5. You might get half. No. We just had some good fights back to back 1 weeks, the past couple of months. And, you got to take it how you get it, because nobody's sitting here expecting every single time that, a card happens that it's going to be what it should be. I think there's way too many pay-per-views. I think that, like I said, man, they need to have tournaments going. These fighters need to earn their keep. They need to earn their keep. Must be a bear. Yeah, it must be a bear over there. They need to earn their keep. And the pay-per-view should only be when you have a massive card. But hey, we can come up with ideas all day. These people gotta, want it. And I believe that the reason why we'll never see that, unless boxing have major damage done to it to the point where it's like the majority feel like it's the next best thing to do, because they feel like they'll lose money. You understand what I mean? Everybody wants to get paid. And so, it's like I'm saying. So obviously, Savannah Marshall and whoever else, everybody that, they're going to the PFL. Of course they want to get paid. Who want to fight and not get paid? That's work for them, right? But the point is, like, to balance that out, to really, do the type of damage that you need to, for you to grow and progress as a fighter the way you need to, is really difficult. It's really difficult. I mean, it's one thing, like you had Bo Jackson playing half the season of baseball. He played baseball, then come and play half the season of football. It's different. Boxing is brutal, man. And MMA is hard on the body too, man. I mean, it's a lot. So my thing is, if you can fight in a PFL, and how many times are you going to fight in the PFL in 1 year? How many times are you going to fight in the boxing in 1 year? So, I mean, live your dreams. Do what you do. But I just wish, it would be better for boxing if people put that same energy into making boxing better, into making the big fights happen. I see nothing but a lot of money grabs now, man. And like, look, Shields is a warrior. There's a lot of fighters who, they're out there that can't get the fights they want. And, like I said, I'm not going to tell people how to make their money, what they should and shouldn't do. But a lot of times what happens for boxers is not necessarily good for boxing overall. And don't get me wrong, this business will chew you up and spit you out. So I would never sit here and say you shouldn't go out and make your money. But it would be good to see people in boxing that can make change, versus just sitting back thinking, what's the next massive payday we can make? I don't care if I got to shit on that fighter who earned it and deserves it. So what? Look. Remember when they had the GoFundMe page? They had not a GoFundMe, my bad. The Justice for Lomachenko. And I said, well, where's the Justice for Shakur page at, right? Because that man, right? That man was the mandatory for Devin Haney. And they bumped him. Do you hear anybody really complaining? No, they don't care. That's the point. You have to care. If you don't care, then if you don't care, then it's all fair. Right? Now, for the people that know that it's wrong, yeah, they know it's wrong. But do you see anybody crying about what happened to Shakur Stevenson? You're the mandatory, but now all of a sudden you're not. So I'm hearing that George Kambosos, I don't know if this is true, but I'm hearing people saying that George Kambosos and Lomachenko are supposed to be fighting. If it is true, cool. But let's just say if Lomachenko beats Kambosos, right? Who does he fight after that? What happens next? Devin Haney has been like, nothing's been going on. What's the negotiations? Like, everything has just been quiet. Everything's been quiet. And what's fucked up is, if you look at boxing right now, the two biggest subjects going on right now: Alicia Baumgartner fails the test. Female boxers join the PFL. Just saying. And it's almost like they don't even want to talk about Dubois versus, Usyk. Like, they don't see this as two giants, two titans going there. They just see this as one titan and a guy trying to prove himself still. And after that last performance that he had, this is going to be a fight. He's going to have to go in there and show it. So, does he knock out Usyk and win? We'll see. Does Usyk go in there and dominate? We'll see. Anyway, I said all I need to say, I think. Talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. We got way too many lies going on, man. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. And I will catch y'all in the next video.